Everybody meet my Mk2 Gti with an 07 case swap. Howdy beautiful friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're working on the Mk2 Gti, everybody rejoice. This was the first car that I ever built and there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. So what I wanna do is go back through everything and kind of just clean up a little bit. And today I want to try and repaint this engine bay because this color is I'm not really vibing with this color. Now previously I said I wanted to take my time and go through and like do it right. But I also kind of want to drive it this summer. So we're gonna do something that you guys might not be so stoked with, but I think it's more important to get this thing running and driving rather than sit here and have it in my shop and be building it for months on end. So I've never had the opportunity to really take this car out on the streets legally. So that's going to be the whole goal with this project is by the end of it, can we get this thing legal to drive on the streets in the state of Pennsylvania? Well, let's get to work. Now, I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing to the engine bay. That's kind of the whole, you gotta follow along and watch what's gonna happen. So we're gonna start by just scuffing this down with 120, 320, and then you'll start to get the gist. So, time lapse time. Now, I have it scuffed down to where I'm comfortable with it. It's good enough. I'm not super duper worried. I know you guys are gonna be like, why are you ruining it? I don't know, the car's already ruined and I just wanna make it more simple. So we're gonna use some multi-purpose foaming prep cleaner, spray down the whole engine bay and see what we can do. I usually like this stuff because it foams and then you can let it sit there and it's like a wax and grease remover. So that's kinda ideal for when you're painting and it has a nice like citrusy smell to it. So that's also fun. Now, if you're wondering why my bay is this like gross green color, I thought it was kind of cool when I first started building this car and it was like a wrap that I had on the car before. So I was like, oh, I'll just paint match the wrap. That was a bad idea and I regret it. We're gonna let this sit, soak, and I'll wipe it down in a couple minutes. Hit it with a tack cloth so we don't have any freaking debris. Use a shop vac, blow some compressed air, and we should be good to go. I love cleaning, do. Cleaning is so fun. Now we're just gonna use a tack cloth. What that's going to do is pick up any dirt or debris that got left behind. You know, stuff like lint from the rag or anything like that. So it's a little ticky, a little sticky. Tacky. It's kind of why it's called a tack cloth. So I'm just gonna kind of wipe some stuff down, switch panels on the tack cloth. Truth be told, I'm not a professional painter, but it'll look good from 5 to 10 feet. So that's all that matters to me. Race car. Okay, let's send it. All right, so we're gonna be using some stainless blast. This is from a company called Seymour. They make really good stuff. This is gonna show up a lot like Steel It and it's weldable. It's gonna have that same kind of satin gray metallic-y like finish to it. I kind of really dig that look. It's kind of like full race car look. And honestly, this car, not a show car. I'm starting to realize that. And I don't have the expertise to really go through and do rust repair, which I'm gonna try. And that's why I wanted it to be weldable. So I could, if I have to go back through and scuff it up and fix something, I can just throw a layer of this on it and it's good. So I do what you gotta do, brothers. Let's get to painting.
Make sure you wear a respirator. It's good for you. You might also be wondering, why am I not going to remove the brake booster? Well, it's being a pain in the ass, so I'm gonna worry about that later. If I get a little bit of overspray on it, whatever. Let's get to it. We're gonna start with a nice light sticky coat. Get some paint down into those scratches. So we're not worried about coverage here. We're just worried about getting it onto the surface. Then our second and third and fourth coat, however many you wanna do, that's when you start to worry about coverage. I don't know, if you guys don't like it, whatever, but it's cool to me. All right, we'll let that coat dry and then we'll hit it with 1 or 2 more heavy coats.
know, dude. I got to admit, I'm pretty dang happy with how that looks. I mean, that's pretty solid. It's got to dry, and I'll probably do one more like little touch-up coat, but that looks pretty cool. I can't wait to get this thing back in it, but I'm gonna work on finishing this, redoing this wiring stuff, and I guess the brake booster stays, so I didn't get overspray on it. Can't see the holes. It's a big problem in my life. Ta-da! YouTube magic. Engine's in. She's all bolted up, good to go. Why did I do this? Not really sure. I just kind of wanted to change it up, and the exterior of the car did not match the engine bay, and it drove me nuts. So to just get something quick and neutral onto the engine bay was, I don't know, just something that I wanted to do. Let's fix the wiring. Now this is next up. This is the first car I ever swapped, and wiring was super daunting to me. It still is, but I have a better grasp of it now. So I wanna go back through and fix up and clean up and just route this a little bit better. So I'm gonna throw you guys up on a time lapse and just kind of get to work on deleting a lot of this and making it look a lot more presentable. So let's get to it. This is how we're looking. We're looking a lot better, a lot more clear over here. Now, it would be cool to do like a wire tuck or something fancy like people know how to do, but I don't know how to do that, and I think this is fine because this is gonna hide the look of all those wires back there. Like, you're not gonna be able to see them from up top. And we're gonna put the fancy freaking shiny billet valve cover back on this rig. So I'm happy with it. It's looking pretty good. I gotta go get some wiring stuff because I'm gonna shorten some stuff, and my heat gun broke. I don't know, man. I'm pretty stoked with it. It's looking a lot better. Keep working. Okay, I'm back. Had to go to work, do this thing, pay the bills, gone 3 days a week, blah, blah, blah. Now we're gonna put the wiring, the engine stuff back into the bay and start to get everything situated. So let's get to doing that. Fun, fun, fun. One of the things that happened when I was pulling this engine out originally is I tore apart the crank sensor like plug, basically just ripped it out. Didn't realize that I did that. So what I did is I stole a different plug with some flying leads so I could have enough room to be able to splice it back together. They're kind of a pain in the butt to change. You gotta get back up in there, and then you gotta there's some Allen bolts, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So I'm just gonna splice it back together real quick. So watch me do some redneck stuff. First, we're just gonna cut off this sheathing here. That way now I have enough room. Do not concern yourself with why there's so much oil down here. Gonna take our splicers, or not splicers, but whatever the hell you wanna call these things. Grab some wire and cut the sheathing off. When I splice wires back together, I like to give them a little twisty twist. I'm not teaching you guys how to do wiring. I'm just showing you guys how I do it, and I'm sure I'll get comments of like, that's dumb, that doesn't work, but where the hell is my wire cutter? Don't know if this is gonna work, by the way. Now just take our heat gun and shrink all those suckers up. I'm just gonna use some of this Tessa tape that I've been using for my harness. I think it's heat resistant. Guess we'll find out. Boom, like it never happened. Let's carry on, shall we? Dude, I don't know. Rad's in. It kind of looks just as bad as it did before. So I did a lot of work, and it still doesn't look that clean. It looks just disorganized. So that's not chill. That's less than ideal. But I think a way to make that a little bit better is I'm going to just make like a little intake just over here and then put a filter here so it covers all of this crap. I'm hoping that kind of makes it look a little cleaner in the bay. I don't know. Was this a waste of time? Did I waste my time doing this? We need a new alternator. Long story. The E30's alternator broke, the 07K swap E30. So this is the E30's alternator. There's like a little prong right here where you put like, you charge the battery. There's like a cast prong, and that runs to the battery. Well, that broke off, so I took the alternator off of that 07K, put it on the E30. Now this one's junk, and none of my spare 07Ks have one, so I had to get a new one. Should be here soon, so hopefully we can get this done by tomorrow and get this YouTube video up. $50 later, we got ourselves a brandy new alternator, so let's get this stupid thing thrown in. It is quite beautiful, I won't lie, but this stupid thing thrown in, and then we'll try to start this thing up here soon. Let's see if this bad girl fires up. Okay, we got an injector leak. Gosh darn it, dude. How about now? Okay, it's holding. Ready? Beautiful. That's all I wanted. Probably idle better if I connected the friggin' throttle body, dummy. See what it does now. Mucho better. Awesome. Seemingly, I have misplaced my microphone setup, so excuse the really crappy audio, but we're gonna push this rig outside, let it idle for a little bit, make sure it gets up to temp, and make sure that we don't have any coolant leaks, and then take this on like a little test rip, make sure I buttoned everything up the right way. All right, let's see if old girl fires up. To neutral, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I was gonna let her sit here and idle. Oh, nuts. That belt's not spinning. That's a problem. Now she spins. The tensioner down here is all screwed up, so it just, I don't know. Let's take old girl out for a test rip. First one in a long time. They're from the drift car, so we'll need to get new tires for this rig. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, you can hear the rubbing. The one thing I do want to show you guys is how much the motor actually flexes under load. I don't love it. I wonder if I could get like a solid motor mount or something more, I don't know, well, just more strong, because it flexes a bunch. These are just stock Mark II motor mounts. So they're like stock poly, or not polyurethane, they're just stock rubber mounts. So it flexes a bunch and I don't really love that. Let's get funky. God, I love this thing. It needs an exhaust so bad though. Limiter check. She's good. I think it has something to do with that motor mount right there. Uh-oh, coolant leak. Where would that be coming from? Not really sure. Rut row on that one, but overall, good. We got an issue back here though. We got a slight oil leak on the valve cover. I just reused an old valve cover gasket. No, you're not supposed to do that. But I did, and it leaks. So new valve cover gasket should be here soon. Other thing, we need new tires for these. I need to burn these off with the drift car because these are big fatties, 205/55 16s. I was running 205/40 16s on this rig, but these were just some burners that I bought for the drift car, and they're just what happens to be on the RMLs, and I need to burn them off. To wrap up, find the coolant leak there, fix the freaking oil leak back there, make it intake, and clean up this grounding situation here, and then get new tires. Clean it up and just enjoy it. I thought I wanted to do like a full restore on this thing, but I don't think so. I don't think this car is too crusty. I think it's just gonna be one of those things where I just enjoy it for what it is, and then someday find another clean Mark II shell and do it with that. But since we don't have good audio, I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Hope you guys are stoked to see the Mark II back to life, and I really just wanna drive this thing around this summer and just enjoy it as much as I can. So I'm gonna work on getting the antique plate from the state of Pennsylvania. And sorry about the long interval between videos. It's been really stressful going 3 weeks, 3 days a week at ECS and then back, and it's just back and forth. But we got some cool stuff coming. I hope you guys are excited. 1.8 T-Swap E30 stuff, so it's gonna be sick. Much love, thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, do the stuff, and have a wonderful day. Go do something sick. I love you, goodbye.